net. E a gente se vê por aqui. É exatamente isso, hein? Nicolas Gameplay mandando um salve. O Júnior Almeida, né? E voltando mais um pouco, tivemos aqui a participação do Wellington Vieira comentando. Muito bem, né? O Rafael da Rocha, nosso membro. O Marcelo Lázaro, nosso membro, também tá aqui. The Wtcher é bom demais, hein? O Calzeira passou por aqui. O Dan Farreiro, né? O mestre do piseiro. O Bac campeão. Falou que 4K 30 FPS pra ele tá bom demais, hein? Pra ele. O Júnior Almeida, né? E voltando mais um pouco, tivemos aqui a participação do Wellington Vieira comentando. Muito bem, né? O Rafael da Rocha, nosso membro. O Marcelo Lázaro, nosso membro, também tá aqui. The Witcher é bom demais, hein? O Calzeira passou por aqui. O Dan Farreiro, né? O mestre do piseiro. O Bac campeão. Falou que 4K 30 FPS pra ele tá bom demais, hein? Pra ele.
Observar aquele.
Sacanagem, velho.
Calma.
Alô?
Alô?
Caralho. Como assim? Sai daí de baixo, mano. O que você tá fazendo aí? Filha da puta. Caralho. Sai daí de baixo, mano. O que você tá fazendo aí? Alô, alô. Alô, 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 alô. 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 Alô, alô. Alô, 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 alô. 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 Alô, 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 alô. Ah, porra, é claro. Óbvio. Alô, 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 alô. Que porra fonte de mídia 2, mano? Alô, testando som. Testando. Fala galera, aqui quem fala é seu amigo Dan Fênix. E eu tô aqui para retransmitir a nova atualização de The Witcher 3. Infelizmente não achei canais oficiais da empresa do jogo transmitindo, mas eu vou retransmitir aqui de um canal da PlayStation e espero que vocês gostem. Vamos nessa.
When I personally play the game now, I choose the alternative new camera all the time. I played The Witcher Wild Hunt many times, so for me it's actually new to play it like this because it makes it feel like a bit of a different game. Yeah,
I remember the first time we were walking in Novigrad with it, we were like, this is great, like, well, holy hell, we want that.
Yeah, the angles, how you can walk through the crowd, it feels a bit different. I like it.
Yeah, for me, my favorite is like the horse camera. You can see the friendship between Geralt and Roach is like the dynamic duo. So like that's gonna be my choice for sure. But yeah, the camera looks pretty cool, and I think a lot of people will actually like it and enjoy playing it. Okay, so we covered PC parts. Right now, maybe let's jump to the next gen.
Okay, moving to consoles.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not a next gen update if we don't have two modes. So performance and quality mode for consoles, and 60 and 30 FPS for Series S.
Did we add something specific to those modes? Maybe.
Yeah, for the Series X and PS5, the quality mode, we do have also the global illumination, ray trace, the ambient occlusion, of course, and of course the SSR will be there. For the console, we also have the FSR2 integrated, as we did for Cyberpunk. So this is ready to go. And of course, dynamic resolution scaling to be sure that we get the smooth ride, 60 FPS and 30 FPS.
Mm-hmm. Well, and additionally, if you play on your PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series X and S, a lot of those other improvements we made, so the general quality settings, higher textures, level of detail, all of that, of course, is also much higher than it used to be on the old gen consoles. So this will also be looking nicer, no matter if you have quality or performance mode.
Yeah, I think it's much closer to the Ultra than before on console was way lower. So
parece que vai ter atualizações de frame rate,
Nice.
de
So
ray tracing.
Great.
I mean,
on
it
PCs,
E parece que é possível melhorar esse jogo, né? Vamos ver como é que vai ficar.
PS5 players, this really nice controller that they have. So we added haptic feedback and adaptive triggers. Yes, exactly.
Do we have anything specific connected to adaptive triggers made?
Well, I mean, I think the thing you notice the most is, of course, in combat. So, when you do your signs, when the sword hits the enemy or hits another sword, you can actually now feel the impact because, it's done with the sound waves of the actual sound. So you do have a bit of more of a visceral feeling when you actually use this controller. So I personally like that one a lot. It's a nice addition that makes the combat feel a bit nicer.
One thing I noticed on the gameplay that we are showing on the screen is that the quick cast. That's another feature that I want to talk about with you guys.
Yeah, so again, similar as the camera, it was an experimental feature. So as you can tell, lots of the veteran developers or new developers working on this project, they just also wanted to do those cool things. And it's one of those elements that personal shout out to Eero Varendi, one of our designers. He actually worked on this personally as his hobby and then essentially asked, can I try to make a proper version of this in the game? And it essentially means that when you were using signs in the vanilla game, you always went to the radial menu where the time slowed down, you choose your sign and then you cast it. And now, both on controller and on keyboard, essentially, you do not ever have to go to that radial menu again if you activate that mode. So instead of pressing, let's say, on the controller R2 to cast, you now hold it, and then all the face buttons or L2 become your signs. So A is Art, L2 is Igni. So essentially, you can just jump around doing your different signs however you want without having to pause the game. So it's a bit more of an advanced feature because now you have to use 2 buttons instead of 1, essentially. So it is, of course, as with the camera, it's a choice that you can activate. And of course, there's also a tutorial for how to use it. But personally, as someone who played the game a lot, especially if you have a sign build, I would never want to go back again.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So we're making sign builds pretty much a default, kind of?
Not a default, but I would say more direct, less, I would say maybe also, it's not annoying to always have to go back to the menu. So now I can just feel smoothly I'm in combat and I never have to go out of it. So I would say it's more fun that way.
I can definitely see myself messing up with all the buttons.
It's like wrong combo, wrong sign. But it's fine, it's gonna work.
I'm pretty sure, I'll get my head around it. So worry not, we'll see how that works. Okay, we have the quick signs, we have all the, additional gameplay features and that we'll be talking about, but this is something I wanna mention because we've seen that also on the gameplay. It's the default map. Like, I've seen a lot of cool filters right there, so maybe...
This is something for Philip, definitely.
Yes.
It's personal.
So we added a new filter. I can speak from my personal experience. I was one of the people who added all those smuggler caches in Skellige. And, the way this content is meant is, you find it while exploring the world, and it's nice. I found some cool thing, I can go on. But it's not meant necessarily as a checklist. You should do all of those 50 things. And the way the map presented it with, all the question marks, I think for some players made it feel like they have to do all of those things. And of course, the map looked very filled with lots of icons. So we added this new filter that essentially hides those question marks from your map and also hides the boat icons from your map, which means the map is much cleaner now and you can play the game, essentially finding those things naturally, not feeling forced to do all of them. But of course, we also know that there are players who like this. There are players who want to get all the content, who want to make sure that they found everything there is to find. So this is only a map filter default. You can also switch over to the filter all, and then you have all of those icons there. So, it's not that we're getting rid of it. It's very much that if you prefer to find these things organically, I think this mode is for you.
I really love how with all of the features that we're talking about, we give a player a choice. Yeah. So yes, this is amazing. They can actually, if you liked what was already there, feel free to keep it. If you want to try something new, try it.
Yeah, and that's very much the idea behind this whole Next Gen edition, which is if you really love The Witcher and you know the game, this shouldn't now feel like a different game. This should be the game that you love,
still the same
that you
amazing
like to play.
Experience, yes.
Exactly. And even with the ray tracing, it looks like the game in your dreams that that you remember how it looked like. And when you compare it, the difference is really staggering. But the art style didn't suddenly change.
No, exactly. Yeah.
It's still true to what it should be, and it's the same for the features. You can play the game you want to play, but you can also experiment with some new features.
OG way.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I can still go to Skellige and
just look for all
look on map and see where is the map? Okay. Okay, you guys mentioned that games from the dream and it looks amazing. I keep saying that because I'm amazed how good it looks. So I know we added some extra adjustments, right, to environment, to characters and whatnot. Can we maybe mention some of them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have a lot actually.